I do want to thank all our speakers throughout the Convene Conference, and you've provided so many insights that are extremely valuable to all of us here, and really appreciate the time that you've put in. And I do want to thank Archelle in advance as she's coming here for moderating it. And then I want to thank our sponsors. The distinction sponsors is the University of Minnesota's Research Computing, and then Maroon sponsors the Office of Academic Clinical Affairs and Frederickson. And again, thank you to our conference team, Becky, Anna, IT team, all our volunteers here, and of course our audience. You are here and you make it very, very special, and hopefully you were inspired as much as I was. Time flies when it's going really, and it's fast, and when it's very exciting. And I will hand it off to Archelle again, and then after that we'll see you at lunch. Thank you so much. Thank you.
As the moderator, my responsibility is to get us through the day, and I think, yeah, we are right on time. So I think I achieved that part of my responsibility as well. But I also see my responsibility as being able to maybe tie the themes together for the day, because we heard a lot, and all of you are going to have your own personal takeaways. But I listen really carefully, and then try to tell a story at the end that maybe will help you think about what you learned today. So here it goes. We heard so many use cases from today, and just to list them, because I think it's so extraordinary. We heard about using eye scans to diagnose chronic diseases earlier. We heard about decrease false positives associated with cardiac monitoring, increasing polyp find rates, which will decrease the risk of developing colon cancer, preoperative planning, accelerating discharge planning, driving equity for patient education. And this list is so much longer and will proceed with all these extraordinary ways of implementing AI, but with high impact and low risk. And so here's some of the takeaways that I also heard from our speakers. At an organizational level, it takes leadership. And what does that mean? It starts with empathy, an investment in change management, governance, measurement, and accountability, which will be critical in being able to achieve and maintain regulatory approval, because there's going to be so much that we're going to have to partner with in order to maintain that. And it requires frameworks for selection of the right problems to solve. And as Lou said, you have to pick PhD level problems. But sometimes those PhD level problems can be as simple as problems that humans aren't solving, even if they're as easy as, do you have a ride home? But at another level, beyond the organizational level, there's the personal level. Because we have to do something, because only 11% of healthcare professionals say that they feel prepared to use AI in a clinical healthcare setting. So things that maybe you can begin to think about, things that you can do to get yourself ready, are investing in skilling and reskilling, or at least being open to opportunities that give you a chance to do that, instead of thinking, I don't have time to learn one more thing. Being accountable to your own interaction in using AI, and especially generative AI. I can only say on a personal level, I use ChatGPT a lot, and it is really easy to just take the answer and run with it, and I force myself to document the evidence for every single line that comes out. Training yourself to use AI in a responsible way in your own personal life is going to prepare you for how to use it in a clinical setting where the risks are so much greater. And stay curious. I started with a provocative statement from Bill Gates, where he said that within 10 years, AI will replace humans. And after today, I don't think that that is quite the case, although who am I to argue with Bill Gates? But I do think that Lou summed it up when he said that people who know AI will replace people who don't know AI. So I think that that's a nuance to what Bill Gates said that I'm going to hang my hat on. So with that, I hope that you got even more out of today's Convene. We look forward to seeing you next year and an even more exciting program. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you to all of our speakers, to Pinar, to our sponsors, and to everyone who makes this kind of happen. Thank you so much.